Hey everybody, this is Stitch 1993 here, and it's the first book pile of the year. Yeah, I'm doing something a bit different where the book pile, because they don't usually get a lot of views compared to some of my other videos, I'm only going to do them every once in a while. So it's every month that has like a fifth weekend in it, I'll be doing one. But let me know down in the comments if you enjoyed watching them or not, and just suggest books. So today we're going to talk about one of my favorite books of all time, The Arrival by Shaun Tan. So, interesting thing about, well, there's a couple of interesting things about this book, but first interesting thing about it is I found out about this book on accident. I was in high school at my library. Our high school was big enough to have its own library inside of it, and I was in the midst of my comic book manga era and just was soaking up any and all comic book manga stuff. And so I just went to one of their computers and just searched comic books, and the Arrival showed up. It didn't show a picture, it just showed where it was going to be, what section, and I believe it was actually in like the fantasy section, which will make sense once I go into it. I mean, you can look at the picture already, definitely a fantasy setting. So I picked it up and just kind of fell in love with it automatically, and I checked out this book probably 50 or so times, like check it in. I even started being part of the library book club that met after school just so I could be the one to check the book in, just to make sure I could check it out the next week, even though I don't think anybody else ever checked it out. So fast forward to college, I finally buy the book, and I've read his other stuff, but this is just my favorite out of his all his work, is Shaun Tan. Apparently this also was made into like a off-Broadway stage play at one point. I don't know. I checked it out, and it doesn't seem like it was as good as the book is, so check that on your own. I don't really have much thoughts on that. But second interesting thing about this book, outside of the title, the author's name, and of course the copyright stuff in there, there's no written language in the book. There's markings, but it's kind of all done in pictures, and it's up to the reader to interpret the story as they would. It's kind of easy to interpret, though. It's a story about a newcomer to new land, looking for a job, and just kind of getting into the basically it is a story about an immigrant, and getting to know the locals and getting into everything about that. So let's look into the book here. It is all done in this beautiful hand-drawn, kind of pencil and ink etched, high detail, almost photorealistic type of drawings, of course, other than the fantasy creatures that show without. And it's all done in this kind of, brown, kind of filtered background. Before this was a big thing and got overused a lot. So, yeah, you just see a bunch of course, these all kind of look like the picture you would take for like your passport or something like that. It even has some sort of a library stamp on there. I never checked that. Is this a library? No, this is not a library book. Okay. Anyways. Alright, so even the book title is in its own weird language. You can kind of make out the author's name. It's like upside down, reversed, and flipped. Of course, that's all in English. Yeah. Glandorf Elementary Library. Cool. So, it is in chapters. It is technically a chapter book. So, the first chapter is kind of showing the guy's life beforehand. He's moving first, leaving his wife and his daughter behind, going to the new land, make for himself. And it's kind of hinted at there's like either a war or just some sort of giant creature overtaking where they are living in currently. There's a ton of pictures like this where it's just this full page, just illustrations, and they're gorgeous. I would love to I'm sure I can find it online somewhere, but I'd love to just have all these as just for like a desktop images or something. There, see him leaving on a train, and he goes into like real, almost like for if you were making this into a film or television series, goes into almost like a storyboard type of thing where it kind of goes into great detail, just scene to scene, minute to minute kind of thing here. And then you see the mom and the girl are still left at the mercy of whatever's going on at home. Chapter 2, we see now he's on a ship. They're going to the new land. Another just gorgeous picture there. Sorry about the lighting. It's kind of dark there, but we see the not really the change in weather, but just kind of the days. You see it goes from night to day to night to day. So the passing of time is shown really well in a lot of this book here. See a lot of immigrants there, and he's writing letters to his daughter. And first sign of the new world is all these weird little kind of bird fish creatures that show up again and again. And then they're at the new area. Guess what would be, I guess, their version of maybe, I don't know, New York? Because that's, a big statuesque thing, kind of like Statue of Liberty. I'm sure other places have other stuff like this. So, but Shaun Tan's an American writer, so I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be America's at a ship going in, everybody getting off board, him getting all checked out. And again, you'll see all these like signage there. Like there is a language, but it's not a language. You can see even he's kind of hard to understand where he's supposed to be going. Man, I would love to see this as a film. Come on, Amazon, or come on, Apple, do this. Alright, so then he gets told he needs to go to this area, and have a lot of cool, interesting ways of traveling all over the place. So he travels, or they travel in these like little elevator balloon type of things. There's no real science, I guess. This is very high fantasy when it comes to forms of travel, creatures, just things in general. So some of it is just like you kind of see what would go on, but a lot of it is just kind of just go with it. There's no real how any of this really works. Another beautiful full screen there. Another giant statue there, and it kind of looks like a kitchen in a way, because you see there's some plates right here. Some of these kind of flasks and stuff kind of look like, so they kind of look like some of the flasks kind of look like cups. And and there he is. I don't know if you can kind of see it. He's right there floating in. Gets down, gets into his new city, and now we just kind of show the locals, just everything that's going on in this area, and he's trying to figure it all out, just like we're trying to figure it all out. And of course, still more maps, and eventually he just has to draw what he's trying to find. And somebody finally understands him and takes him to a hotel type of area. More cool little creatures. He gets a room with a whole bunch of just new stuff he just doesn't understand how it works. him learning about the place. And then he meets a pet. I don't know if it's supposed to be like the cat of their world or a dog or just whatever, but seems to take a liking to him. And he's finally unpacking everything. And yep, he's in a big apartment area. More plates, more cups, jars. Definitely feels like it was inspired by a kitchen. And then chapter 3, Dreamin' wakes up, hot outside, so it's probably during the summertime. And now he's got to go find a job. So somebody kind of tells him where to go. And he meets somebody that's also an immigrant. She tells her story of what she did beforehand. Looks like she worked in a factory and she escaped. Now they're going both to a job area. He's trying to, looks like he's searching for food, trying to buy food. And he finds a neighbor, or finds somebody that kind of like shows him, you know, these signs mean this type of food and so forth. And he invites him back to his house. And they have their own weird pet creature. And then he tells his story of what happened in his hometown. And something really crazy went down in his hometown. Again, there's no words, so it's just kind of all up to the imagination. This feels like there was a giant extermination of people. So maybe this is kind of a homage of some form of way to some kind of homage to maybe something along the lines of like the Holocaust. Yeah, because he shows that some of them were kind of escaped, but they had to go into hiding to escape. And it was like they had to hide, run in quarters to keep away from being seen. And they had somebody kind of help them with a map underground so they could finally escape, get on a small boat to get to the new land. And then they flourished, and now they're just enjoying life, trying the new foods, new sights, play some music. Chapter 4, waking up. He's kind of getting the hang of it now, so at least he knows, food, and even his dog creatures trying to help him get ready for work. He goes, and now he's looking around to find a job, but it looks like everybody, or at least nobody is hiring. And finally he sees somebody that's able to give him some work, so he's just so he gets a first job kind of putting up flyers, but he finds out that he's putting up the flyers upside down, and that's just because he's still not used to the language. So he's going home, still trying to figure out other things, gets another job, send out mail. Apparently that's like a warning for beware of giant dragon creature that lives in the yard. And he just didn't understand it. Then he becomes a factory worker. And one of the factory workers tells him about, I guess, him coming back from, looks like maybe a war or something. Yeah, definitely a war. Yeah. Maybe it was the same war that he was fighting in from the family that was running away from the giant Holocaust type of creatures. But it looks like he lost a limb when he came home. His town was all gone as well. So he had to come back from New World. I don't know. He seems a lot older. So maybe this was maybe World War I to him? I don't know. changing of the seasons now. We get a bit more into that next couple places. Find some people that he's able to get into a game of, kind of looks like croquet slash maybe like a bowling or marbles type of game, or cones. Chapter 5. He's saving up money to get to his family, to the new place now. And now we show the passing of time, passing of season. So first it starts out in the spring, summer, autumn, summer, autumn, and then winter. So almost basically a full year has passed. So now it's winter time. And finally gets a letter back, looks like from his family. And looks like his family's finally able to come live with him. And then we see there's even more passing of time. The family's now more integrated into the area. They've taken a new picture. And I guess the husband's or the dad's teaching the daughter, or telling the daughter where she needs to go. And she goes down to the market. And there's a new person there that's kind of starting the cycle over again with a new person in a new world type of thing. The daughter's now the person that's able to teach her what to do and where to go. So beautiful book there. Shaun Tan's The Arrival. Honestly, it's probably best that there's no words, just because you could read that book in a totally different way than I did. I'm sure a lot of the similarities with here, but everybody can read it differently to a degree. So let me know how you read it, if you grew up with this book, or if this is just your first time hearing about it, reading it with me. And what do you think of the new format? I kind of feel like I'm liking this format a lot better than just showing a bunch of pictures like a slideshow in my voiceover. So a lot more easier to kind of get about the book, and so I can see it along with you, so I'm not just going off of memory. Check out my other book videos I did last year. That's my old format, so I'm going to try this format this year. Let me know which one you enjoy more. And until next time, thank you and have a good day.